What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the Diamattis and how to get the best hipfire spread with the Diamattis. I'm also going to talk again about the FFAR and Cold War weapons in general, and how to get the best hipfire with the FFAR, and clear up a mistake I made in the video that was out yesterday about Cold War attachments. So I'm going to jump into it and show you guys what I think. So in the past, how I've always measured hipfire area is just to move, take a screenshot while I'm moving, and then measure the hipfire markers just from the inside of the hipfire markers, which are those white bars. And that's how I'd calculate the areas. That was just my diameter, and I'd calculate area from that. But like I said in my previous FFAR video, I said that the steady aim laser and the 5 milliwatt laser do nothing for the FFAR, and that's because they don't change the hipfire markers at all. Like it looks like it's the stock gun, but it turns out it's just bugged or not done correctly or something. So the attachments are actually working as they should. So the 5 milliwatt for the FFAR and the steady aim laser actually do help significantly, and the 5 milliwatt actually helps the most of all attachments, even more than the Ember. So I'm going to show you that now. So this is with the Ember sight point here. So I'm going to go to 7 meters. 7 meters from the wall, and then just fire a full magazine. That's with the Ember. And then we'll switch it up and go to the 5 milliwatt, and you should see that the hipfire markers look like they're way bigger on the 5 milliwatt, because it doesn't even, it acts like there's nothing there at all. But then when I actually fire at the wall, you'll see that it's significantly helps with hipfire, even more so than the Ember. So it's just messed up currently in the game. And I want to thank Maverick from my Discord for bringing this up to me. He said that he noticed this with I don't know if it was the FFAR or the Diamattis first, but he told me about this, and I was really hoping he was wrong, because I didn't want I didn't want another thing to be incorrect in the game. But here it is. All right, so we're 7 meters, 7 meters from the wall again, just like we were for the left, but that left was Ember. This is gonna be 5 milliwatt. So you can see the spread pattern's tighter with 5 milliwatt, even though it doesn't look like it does anything with the measurements. And I'll throw the measurements up on the screen in pixels so you guys can see that I'm not crazy, and it says it doesn't do anything. But yeah, that's what I found. So it turns out the same is true for the Diamattis. So Diamattis, when you put a 5 milliwatt laser on there, it doesn't change the hipfire markers at all. So everybody thought that the Ember had the best hipfire for Diamattis, but that is just not true. So I'll show you here with the Diamattis the same kind of test. So this is with 5 milliwatt lasers first. So I'm doing it in reverse order. Last time I did Ember first and then 5 milliwatt, but for the Diamattis I'm going to do 5 milliwatt first. So we're 5 meters from the wall this time. Just going to fire a full magazine. Then I'll switch it up to the Ember sighting point. Alright, so we're going to go 5 meters again. 5 meters on the dot. And this is the Ember sight point, which actually looks like it helps. And it does help, but not as much as 5 milliwatt. So we can see 5 milliwatt's much tighter than the Ember sighting point for hipfire spread. So despite what the hipfire markers look like, the 5 milliwatt's actually the better attachment. Alright, so for my recommended Diamattis build, I think this is what I'm going to go with for now. The only thing that would change on this would be the barrel, once I actually test these barrels and see if there's hidden range benefits anywhere. So like, for example, on the FFAR, that first barrel that said it helped with strafe speed actually has the biggest range boost of all of the attachments. So I'll test this eventually and see if any of these have anything like that in there. If they do, then I wouldn't pick the task force, but we'll see. But anyway, so agency suppressor increases your bullet velocity and your range by a little bit, and it gives you a silencer so you don't show up on the map, which is super nice. So I think this is almost a no-brainer. The only downsides are aim down sight and aim walking steadiness, which both of those do not matter because you're not aiming down sights. So literally no cons there as far as a Hipfire Akimbo build goes. Task force, I chose this one because I don't think it increases damage. I think all the damage barrels actually don't do anything currently, like I said. But it does give you more damage range and more bullet velocity, and the cons don't matter. So I was originally thinking maybe reinforced heavy, because it gives you effective damage range and bullet velocity, but I didn't want the penalties of sprinting move speed. So that's why I ended up going with the task force for now. Like I said, I'll look into hidden stats later and see if I can find a better barrel, but for now I think Task Force is the way to go. And then Akimbo, of course, and then Salvo 30 round fast mag. Aim down sight time doesn't matter, doesn't hurt your movement speed, so no brainer. You get really fast reload and you get the biggest magazine. So I think the difference for most builds would be this 5mm laser, because I think most people had been just looking at the Hipfire cone markers on the screen, and like I showed, those are just incorrect in a couple cases. The FAR and this both, they're just incorrect. So the 5mm is 100% the way to go for the dual Akimbo Diamattis. So keep that in mind. This is my recommended build. These guns are ridiculously good. So, and then just to fix my FFAR build from the last video where I said it was supposed to use kind of like an SMG, I had the Ember sight point on there because I thought that was what gave you the best hipfire. But it turns out that the 5mm is actually better despite not changing those hipfire markers. So yeah, this is the updated build. So with this build, you get much better hipfire. You get faster sprint to fire time. You get a big mag, faster reload time, and like just 10 milliseconds slower, 5 or 10 milliseconds slower ADS time than a stock gun. And you get a suppressor. So this is going to be a decent SMG build for the FAR, but I just wanted to correct that Ember sight point from the video yesterday. Alright everybody, well I hope you found this useful. I just wanted to try to get the word out that some of these things are a little screwed up. I apologize for the mistake on the FAR yesterday. I didn't think that I actually had to test the wall pattern, the wall spray pattern, to get the hipfire, because in the past, I mean, they've always matched the hipfire markers, so I just didn't think I had to do that. But anyway, yeah, I appreciate you guys all watching, and the support's been crazy recently. Thank you guys all so much, and I'll see you in the next video.